Shalom, giving all the praises, honor, and glory to our Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, Bahashim Rachakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone who rule and teach well. Peace and safety and much blessings to the Akim that's pushing this truth out the four corners of the earth and our truth, the sincerity and the diligent Shalom. And I've been meaning to get around to this video about this, this CK guy. All right, if you're in the know, uh, you know, CK, homie that just got popped, not too long ago. All right, but with that happening, is what we see, through the spirit is that, they're really about to come down, on the men of the Lord. You know, they're really gonna link us to, you know, T-rism, okay, through our testimony, through the words that we preach, because that's what it's all about. Cracking down and trying to get at, passing all these laws and legislations and creating these avenues to be justified and coming down on the men of the Lord because of our testimony that we speak through the Spirit. All right, and so when they do things like this, it's like they psyops, and that's what I got that up here. It's I looked up psyop, emotional play. It says psyop emotional play refers to the use of psychological operations that deliberately target and exploit human emotions to manipulate a population's belief, attitudes, and behaviors. These campaigns can be used in military context, politics, marketing, or by individuals in toxic relationships to create desired outcome. And that's exactly what you see is happening. With all, was coming out about this guy here. See, look, the goal is to override critical thinking by triggering strong emotional responses like fear, outrage, joy, or more emotional charge a situation. The more emotional charge a situation is, the more likely critical thinking will be suppressed. And that's exactly what, is happening, especially through, Donald Trump, him being, you know, uh, elected president, and it's just a whole lot of witchcraft that's going on with that. Okay. These people are under a spell. And what is happening is that this devil is running his psyops to play up on the emotions of people, right? So because, throughout all of that, now is, people are having their own opinions about, what has happened, right? And they're going to take that and make that about, everything, you see? So I'm going to play some video clips because really and truly what, like I said, what they're trying to do is link this to, link what they would call hate speech to, the testimony that we bring out, you know, us speaking the testimony and coming out with the truth and speaking prophecy. They're going to link that to hate speech. So us, as Israelites, that's bringing out the true word of the Lord. You Israelites that watch videos, you Israelites that call yourself Israelite, even if you don't have the right doctrine. Not saying that it's okay at all. I'm just saying the fact that if you identify yourself as an Israelite, if you look up, Israelites, teaching the word, if you link yourself with any type of Israelite teaching, you are, part of the problem that Esau, is getting ready to, come down on. Okay. But that's comes with the territory because the scripture says, uh, hated all men. This is John. No, it's not John. What's the one in John? This is, it says, know that the world hated you. That's in John. But this is Matthew 10 and 22. And ye shall be hated by all men for my name's sake, but he that endured to the end shall be saved. Right? So we're gonna be hated by all men, right? Because it's gonna be more psyops, for them to play up on the minds, of people to have their targeted outcome, right? Their targeted behaviors, because this devil wants to turn, the world against us, man. Which the world is already against us because the scriptures told us that just now when we read it, We shall be hated by all men. Why? Because of the word, man. Right? So I'm gonna play these. Let me play this right here.
Is in that category. She said this just yesterday. Watch.
There's free speech and then there's hate speech. And there is no place, especially now, especially after what happened to Charlie, in our society.
There's free speech and then there's hate speech. This is the Attorney General of the United States, the Chief Law Enforcement Officer of the United States, telling you that there is this other category called hate speech. And of course, the implication is that's a crime. There's almost no sentence that Charlie Kirk, and I'm not running the risk of appropriating his memory for my own ends by saying this, it's provable. There's no sentence that Charlie Kirk would have objected to more than that. And you've got to think the Attorney General didn't think it through and was not attempting to desecrate the memory of the person she was purporting to celebrate, that she just threw that out there, that she hadn't thought about it. You hope that. You hope that Charlie Kirk's death won't be used by a group we now call bad actors to create a society that was the opposite of the one he worked to build. You hope that. You hope that a year from now, the turmoil we're seeing in the aftermath of his murder won't be leveraged to bring hate speech laws to this country. And trust me, if it is, if that does happen, there is never a more justified moment for civil disobedience than that, ever, and there never will be. Because if they can tell you what to say, they're telling you what to think, there is nothing they can't do to you because they don't consider you human. They don't believe you have a soul. A human being with a soul, a free man, has a right to say what he believes, not to hurt other people, but to express his views. And by the way, that thinking, and not to pile on the Attorney General, who's a very nice person, but that thinking that she just articulated on camera there is exactly what got us to a place where some huge and horrifying percentage of young people think it's okay to shoot people you disagree with, to kill Nazis for saying things they don't like. Why do they believe that?
And this is just in the news. This is just like fair use. This is just in the news. I'm just bringing out information. I'm just reporting. Okay. So, like, basically saying, she said that it's free speech and then there's hate speech. Well, who dictates what hate speech is? Okay? See, because really and truly, our testimony, is and I'm gonna add this before I play this one. That's the the Republicans. That's the right wing over there, right? Saying these things about free speech and hate speech, infringing on the Constitution now. All right, because what you people don't understand is that you don't have a this is just a piece of paper that you have the illusion of rights. But really and truly, this devil is getting ready to take away your rights. Understand that. Understand what's about to happen in society. Understand that this devil's been playing you this whole time, bro. And this is why the scripture says, it says, awake, sleep. Where is it? This is Romans 13 and 11. And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep, for our salvation is nearer than we believe. So it's time to wake up out of sleep, man. All right? It's time to understand that, hey, this devil is about to come down with his draconian laws, okay? This devil is about to make it, hard to do anything. You're gonna have to conform to his system. You're gonna have to do, because he wants to sit in the seat as God already, right? And he's going to make, a man an offender for a word. So if your opinion of what you think, you voice your opinion of what you think goes against what this devil dictate as hate speech and free speech, no matter what it is, right? You're going to be charged without due process, right? This is Isaiah 29 and 21. It says, I'm gonna start at 24. The terrible one is brought to naught, and the scorner is consumed, and all that watch for iniquity are cut off, that make a man an offender for a word, and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate. And this is all snares that this devil is laying. Okay? All these things that he's doing on the back end, distracting you to pass certain laws and all these different things. This is all a snare, bro. Really to come down on the men of the Lord and to turn aside the just for a thing of naught. You see, because like I said, our testimony is against those that sit in the seat, of power right now, right? They know who they are, our testimony, because here it is. You got this guy over here, and we have to talk in code now, and I have to get better at that. The dude, Chocolate Yahoo, not Chocolate Yahoo, but Vanilla Yahoo in the land over there in Israel, right? He's basically, making it to where he's regulating what you say about them, over here. Because that's who our testimony is about, to let you know that those, that these Amalekites, which are, they're Edomites, of the stock of Esau Edom, they're not the true people of the Lord. You see? It says this is Revelations 3 and 9. It says, behold, I will make them the synagogues of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not. Apple Jews, and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee. Right? So, those what nation of people is claiming to be, that holy nation that is not, right? What do these people look like? According to the Bible, they look like Esau Edom, man. All right. So we are going to be classified as bringing out hate speech because we're just telling the truth. Cause so this devil feels like, hey, you can't have an opinion about me. Stop telling the truth about me. So if you do, then you're gonna be locked up or dealt with in whatever manner they feel like they want to deal with you on. Lock you up and just with no due process, or ship you off wherever they want to ship you off, because you believe in the testimony of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. And you got men on the street corners that's doing these videos, that's telling the truth and proclaiming the truth, man. Because this is what he want to come down with. Now, why in the hell is the simple fact? Why are they trying to regulate? Why are they regulating TikTok now, man? Because TikTok got a lot of information on there, okay, which expose these devils. This is Revelations 2 and 8. And unto the angel of Salakia, verse 2 and Revelation 2 and 9. I know thy works and thy tribulations and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them that which say they are Apple Jews and are not, but are the synagogues of Satan. And Esau Edom, he's the physical counterpartner of Satan, man. Right? That's claiming to sit in the seat of Apple Jews. And I'm just, Lord willing, that's, code talk enough. But it's a real battle against good and evil, man. And we inspiring to be on the right hand side, and we're about to be deemed, public enemy number one, just for the testimony of the Lord, man. Which is going to create what? A famine of the word, man. We bring out these precepts, but because this is what's happening right now today, man. Just because it ain't happening last week, or it ain't happening, right when we're saying it right now, but we can see the writing on the wall, man. Amos 8 and 11, behold, the days come, said the Lord Yahweh, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor of thirst of water, but of hearing the words of the Lord. So, we're going to get that, that video, that update from, Elder Apostle Tahor, to where it's like, listen, brother, this gonna be it. Any day it could be like, look, man, this is it. You know, this is it. This is it, brothers. That's why we supposed to be getting built up on our most Holy Spirit, on the getting built up in the faith, man, to be able to, stand on your own 2 feet in these times to come with the help of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. Because you don't know if you're going to be with brothers. You don't know if you're going to be with your family. You don't know these things, right? You don't know this. Just how this devil is rolling up on people, using ice to roll up on people, man. Hey, shit. Who's to say he not going to roll up on, men that's teaching his word, man, that's known for teaching his word. So you know what I'm saying? We have to be prayed up, man. And this is the warning. This is the warning. This is what the Lord has set his men up to do, to tell you, of the things that's about to take place, man. Right here in America. So the Lord's going to send a famine of hearing the words of the Lord, man. So before, it ain't no food or water or bread or something like that. You're going to have a famine of the word first, man. Which I feel, and then all the brothers, in the same spirit feel, it's right around the corner. And they shall wander from sea to sea and from the north even to the east, and they shall run to and fro seeking the word of the Lord and shall not find it. Okay? So people that once heard this thing, that was probably once a part of this thing, that once, was once in the spirit, that probably fell away due to, whatever it was, whatever stumbling block you fell over, that right there, to be caught like a thief in the night, that's equals in equations of a condemned conscience, because these words is going to be the only thing that we're going to have to hold on to, according to the book of Isaiah 33:6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time. Let me go into that word stability. It says,
Strong's H530. Emunah.
Emunah. It says firmness, fidelity, steadfast, steadiness, firm. So we're only going to be able to stand firm, on the words of the Lord, man. Okay? That's going to be our stability, the words of the Lord, wisdom and knowledge. These are these scriptures that the Lord has left us, and how, you've had faith in these times where things looked at real shaky. How you've held to the faith, how the Lord has brought you through things. You got to remember that the Lord has brought you through things. You can't be dwelling on what you're going through right now. Yeah, even though it's, you're dealing with it right then and there, you have to remember that the Lord has brought you through things. And, how our forefathers went through things. And, the enemy always came in to try to, wipe us out, man. But the Lord was always there to wipe them out, man. You see? So this devil, Esau, Edom, he's like I said, our testimony is against that nation, and he wants to do everything to hold on to that, he wants to do everything to try to obtain the birthright through, his own way, man, which is not gonna happen. So, the Lord is like, He gonna pull his men off the street corners to where you can't get this word no more, man. You're not going to be able to get this word, right? So all you people that mocked and scoffed and thought it was a game, and, you're going to see. You're going to see that even though, let's say you haven't identified as, even if you was a scoffer, you still going to get dealt with. If you Jake, you going to get dealt with, because that's his MO, man. That's his MO. To get at you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. This is 2 Ezra 5:9. The salt water shall be found in the sweet, and all friends shall destroy one another, right? Because it's going to be chaos. We're going to be in Jacob's trouble, right? Then shall wit hide itself. So understanding withdraw itself into his secret chambers. So people are going to be out of their mind. Nobody's going to care if you're a woman with kids, a single mother. Nobody's going to care if you're in a wheelchair. Nobody's going to care about what you have or what you don't have. Well, they really going to, the way how it's going to be is like, if you got what they need, they come and get it from you. Right? They going to take you, especially women in this time. And this is right around the corner. Bro, I don't see another president being elected, bro. You understand? This nigga just got in office in I want to say, was it January or February? Bro, look what month we in, man. We're about to be in October. You got 2 months, right? To the first of the year, man. This thing is moving fast. Verse 10. And shall be sought by many. So wisdom and understanding it shall be sought by many, right? Looking, desiring a word from the Lord, and yet not be found. Then shall unrighteousness and incontinency be multiplied upon the earth. So unrighteousness and the lack of self-control shall be multiplied upon the earth. So people is going to just do how they say it, get it how they live. That's what's gonna happen, man. This is what's gonna happen. This is the danger that is coming, man. Okay? So they use these psyops to play upon people's emotions to create this friction, especially between Jake and Esau, man. Especially between Jake and Esau, right? Because don't forget, man, we're gonna bruise this devil's head, man. Okay? For eternity. This ass is gonna be taken out of the way. Let me see. This is Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 26. It says, and I will make thy tongue cleave to the roof of thy mouth. So, once this devil coming, doing what he do, hey, telling you, the Lord, hey, he's going to have it to where, like he said, I will make thy tongue cleave to the roof of thy mouth, that thou shalt be dumb, right? And shall not be to them a reprover, for they are a rebellious house. So while yet you had liberty, while yet you had time to cast away the things that were set in front of you, to get your mind right, to understand that, bro, we are in, like I said, a real battle of good and evil, and our, big brother Esau Edom is fin to come down with great wrath, right? What is your main focus? What are you worried about? Is you worried about money, right? Is money your main focus? Is family your main focus, right? Is establishing wealth earthly possessions, or relationships, or love, or all that shit that ain't gonna matter in these times to come? Is that your main focus? Because if that's what it is, then you ain't gonna make it. You ain't gonna make it. Because when this devil is not playing, man. Esau is not playing. Because he understands what's at stake. Esau, Edom, understand what's at stake, and so does the elect. The elect of the Lord understand what's at stake. It's like it's only way I can really put it is like, say you got the other side, like you got a damn football game, right? That the varsity against varsity, right? They locked in, but on each team you always got the freshmen that it don't matter, they don't really get in, so it's like it don't mean that much to them. So they just on the sideline, you know what I mean? I'm saying? Shit, hopefully we win, you know what I'm saying? But the elect is locked the hell in, bro. Esau locked in too, because Esau got an agenda. You know? So, yeah, man. Like we're about to be painted as, the face of, hate speech and the problem in the earth. Now, I'm gonna play this, bro, just to show you the hypocrisy, just to show you that the right is speaking the same message because these are the same devils, man. You got the illusion of freedom, man. These are the same devils, like it speaks about in that Revelations the 13th chapter. You know, it says, matter of fact, I'll just let this play, and then I'll get the precept.
Be banned from one platform and not others if you for providing misinformation out there.
There's no guarantee to free speech on misinformation or hate speech, and especially around our democracy.
There are Americans.
And this is what the Democrats are saying. The Republicans are saying the same thing, man. Understand where you at, man. Understand your enemy. Understand that, Jake, you are the target.
And not others if you for providing misinformation out there.
There's no guarantee to free speech on misinformation or hate speech, and especially around our democracy.
There are Americans who are engaged in this kind of propaganda. And whether they should be civilly or even in some cases criminally charged is something that would be a better deterrent.
If people go to only one source and the source they go to is sick and, has an agenda and they're putting out disinformation, our First Amendment stands as a major block. It's really hard to govern today.
This is a matter of corporate responsibility. Twitter should be held accountable and shut down that site. It is a matter of safety and corporate accountability.
The First Amendment is not absolute. It does not protect any single thing anyone says. And there are limits, and that's important. And what this committee has been trying to do for the last year and a half is to chill the federal government from monitoring what is going on social media.
When you look at what Tucker Carlson and some of these other folks on Fox do, it is very, very clearly incitement of violence. Very clearly incitement of violence. I believe that when it comes to broadcast television, like Fox News, these are subject to federal law, federal regulation in terms of what's allowed on air and what isn't.
So my biggest concern is that your view has the First Amendment hamstringing the government in significant ways.
See, so whenever they bring up our testimony, they bring out the things that we say, they're gonna, hey, bro, this is, this is hate speech, This is terrorism talk, We're gonna be public enemy number one, bro, for the word and the witness of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. And like I said, I was gonna get that precept, Revelation, the 13th chapter, I believe that it is. It says, right, this is Revelations 13 and 11. It says, I beheld another beast coming up from out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. Right? So this other beast is talking about America, but going into those two horns, you got the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. And it says two horns like a lamb, and spake as a dragon, because that's how this devil's going to come. He's going to speak, with his actions, which goes into Dracon, right? It says the dragon sober, the name for the name for Satan. But let me see. Let me get that. Let me get that in Dragon. Sweet, look, it's right here. Dracon. What it says. Places. Let me see. See if I'm looking it up right. Draconian. Right? When I type in that word Dracon, it says, right, draconian, of or pertaining to Draco, the ancient Greek statement in reference to laws rigorous, extremely severe, and harsh. In reference to laws rigorous, extremely severe and harsh. Okay? You see? So that's what this devil, he speak as a lamb. Let me see. Not speak as a lamb. Hold up. Let me go back up. Let me go back up. Yeah, who horns like a lamb? I don't think I ever looked up lamb, but let me just look it up. Let me just see. It says Arneon, right? A little lamb. You know, he come in the spirit with, you know, with his, matter of fact, watch this. Psalms 55. This is Psalms 55. Come on, bro. Psalms 55 and 22, 21. Thy words of his mouth was smoother than butter, right? But war, see, through psyops, they come up speaking like, you know, as if though what they're saying is better, you know, for the country. Is like, this is what's going to keep us safe. We got to keep America safe. We got to, you know, we got to crack down on this and crack down on that. But war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet was drawn swords, man. So, you know, that's that beast that is that beast that come up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, right? So, like I said, you got the Democratic Party and the Republican Party, and he spake as a dragon. But you see how I just showed you that the Republican Party is saying the same thing, and the Democratic Party saying the same thing, but they act like they're against each other. But the agenda is the same. You just have the illusion. The agenda is the same. It's to crack down on the men of the Lord, man. You know, going, you know, and really too, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you know. So they're gonna make a man an offender for a word, bro. So, you know, we just gotta be prepared, man, for the things that's gonna come with that, bro, and trust and pray that Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahshua is with us and our family. So, Lord willing, you are edified. Shalom.